Welcome back to Anam Podcast.
Welcome. Glad to see you're here.
Yes, thank you for coming back or joining new.
All right, let's get this party started.
Take it away, baby.
Okay. Closing our eyes. Relax. Bringing the awareness to the breath. Breathing in deeply. Releasing your breath completely. Allowing the mind to be here now. Opening the heart to feel and receive the universal love that is all around us. Opening up this space for divine guidance, divine wisdom, higher self, to speak through us, with us, be with us, to guide us in this most beautiful day. Let's begin. Thank you.
I don't know what this crystal's doing to me.
You're in your moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
So it's a rose quartz and sodalite, and Patty wrapped it, and
Can you see?
yes, it's beautiful. So yesterday, I'll tell my story and then.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yesterday morning, so as every morning I wake up and I ask the day, how should I experience this day? First off, I give thanks and gratitude for the day and all the joy in the day and the love in the day and the excitement, the learning and all that. And then I ask how shall I be in this day? And the message to me first thing in the morning was to go to this crystal shop and get a crystal for Amy. And of course it felt fantastic to do that. So that's what I did. And as I'm at on the way to the crystal shop, so this is a story I didn't tell you. On the tram, the whole time before I even got on the tram, I was thinking about how I could fully integrate, like how to believe fully, like I cognitively know that I am divine, that we all are divine, that there is nothing but divine. But how can I own that? How can I be that? Because I only know it. I don't own it yet. So I'm still like, there's a buffer between me and knowing that. So on the tram, I am repeating to myself, I am divine, and I'm trying to feel it. And when I say that, I'm not saying just me. I know that all is divine. Every single one of us is divine. But you first experience it within yourself, and then you see it externally as well. So anyway, so I'm repeating, I am divine, and I'm feeling what that feels like. And as I'm doing that, I look over, and there's a guy sitting in front of me, and somebody had spit a big loogie or a big ball of saliva.
Gollier.
What's it called?
A gollier.
Yes, underneath the chair that this guy was sitting on, and he didn't know it was there. And his foot he had sat in it, and then he raised his foot, and so there's this big line of saliva sticking to his foot. And I see that, like as I'm repeating, I am divine. And immediately I try not to gag because it was so like gross to my vision, to see that. And I'm like, okay, I'm divine, but why is that what I'm seeing? And then I'm realizing, because that is divine too. It's all divine. It's not just the good. It is even that ball that stuck to his foot. So my day progressed progresses, okay, I get to the crystal shop and all this, but on my way to the crystal shop, I'm walking down, where did I go? I walked down this one little alley and all I could smell is vomit. Like vomit. So again, vomit. And then a bird shits on me. And then as I'm walking back to the house, some teenagers or some young guys, I don't know how old they were, drive by and honk really loud to scare me. And my first response was to call them a name. So what I realized was the divine is showing me, as a divine being, all of these things are divine. All of these things that you're holding judgment against are divine. And until and unless you can let go of the judgment on all of the things I witnessed in that day, you're still separating yourself from being divine. So it's not that you have to embrace everything in that. You can see that and be okay. Like, it's just, there should be no judgment. No judgment towards anything. Everything is a neutral experience. You're the one that gives it the meaning. So it was just an interesting...
beautiful. But it's nuts though, because as everything is it's not nuts, it's beautiful. As everything is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Truly means that you are not holding judgment for yourself because you didn't see that as a judgment.
I was judging it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you switched it over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw that why they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm divine, everything else is divine, you know?
Yes.
So, excuse me, and it's fully embodying that. Like, I had an experience where somebody texted me asking about where I've done my course and my training, all this. And straight away I started to get into my head being like, oh God, like they're not... It's only an online course, like it's not, I never flew to India or fucking Jamaica or somewhere, like, and then I was like, oh, chill the fuck out, they only ask you a question. And so I shared whatever with the lady, and it was like knowing that I was firstly judging myself because I had these expectations that I should be training in a school. Like, I only know my knowledge because I have this piece of paper or whatever. But when I switched that over, it was like, no. I know, you don't need a certificate or a school or anything.
Unless you feel like you do. So, like, if you want to be a medical doctor, in this society, you need school. So there are, like, I feel like certain trainings that kind of make you go down the route of...
Yeah.
But I do believe that our future is each individual person allowing themselves to flow with their higher self, to their with their divine self, expressing in this world. You're not here to get a certificate from somebody else doing that.
Yeah.
You're here to get your own.
And also, well, actually, if you're getting the call in to do that course, it will teach you what you need to know. It's like grabbing one bit from this religion or one bit from that and bringing it all together to what feels right for you.
Yeah.
Like, because we're all teachers for one another. Like, so...
Well, reflections of each other. And so you're going to see in that other person something that you can learn or grow from. Yeah.
And I was trying to figure that out as well the other day about why certain friendships are in my life. Because I just said before we came on, the other day I was called a nut job, and like I was so thankful that I was, because I'm very, very grateful to be in a space where I don't give a shit what you think, quite frankly. And like,
I love that about you.
I am so...
At your age, I love that.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful to be in a space of, we're all thinking, we're all doing our own thing, do you know what I mean? And I'm choosing happiness.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm aware that I'm choosing happiness, you know what I mean? And that awareness is beautiful because it's setting me free. And when I was calling this job the other day, I said, it's actually nuts, the fact that I am able to accept that I've lost the plot. What is losing the plot? From not
what
being
does that
normal
mean?
from other like people, or like
From taking life seriously?
Yeah.
Is that what you've lost the plot from?
And then I was like, what?
And they were actually saying that because you were dancing.
Because I was dancing. No, I was dancing. Like, and then my other friend turns around and goes, I'm not surprised that she's dancing, but I'm surprised that she put her top back on.
You were dancing naked?
Yeah, it's about yeah.
No wonder why they said that.
But why? Like,
Yeah, who made the rules that that's not what
Yeah.
we're supposed to do?
and then it got me reflecting, why are these friendships in my life?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very grateful, goddammit. Like, but why? Like, what are they? What are we reflecting each other for? And it came to the realization that maybe I'm holding on to a past version of myself through these relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And even last Saturday there was a house party for a friend's birthday, and I swear to God, like, I got there at like 10:30, and I was like, they're all playing drinking games, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. Then the music got put on, and when I took over the dance floor, but I felt out of my head. Like, I actually felt like everybody else was, but I was like, oh, maybe I'm picking up on the energy, but I was proper like, oh my God, I was putting on sunglasses and all that. I was like, what's this story? And like, it was just nuts. And then one of my mates said they have a plant growing out the back, so I went to the greenhouse and had a look at it. And he just turns around to me and he goes, Amy, I can't believe that you are seeing the beauty like of this plant. I see it because I'm out my head, but I don't see it. And I just love that you're so connected like with Mother Earth, and how like you just allow her energy to connect with yours, right? And I was just like, oh, I'm so thankful, like,
Yeah.
you know, that. And I know that he's on that path because he knows that there's something more to get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was beautiful because I was like, I do feel as out of it as you do.
What I think is beautiful is, okay, so you are considered the different one in the friends group, but we're all transitioning towards a holistic union of everybody, and you're kind of the way shower for your friends. You're the one showing, this is what it looks like, guys. It's not scary. Own this, embrace it, be you more, because that's what you are. You are authentically you, and the friends are maybe not, you know, and you're showing them it's safe to be authentically you. So you are a teacher amongst your friends. So that is part of the reason that they're still there with you.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And they're teachers too, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they're allowing me to spread some light on my shadow, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll find myself like dipping into like a 3D mindset or something when I'm around them, or and then I'm like, whoa, do you know what I mean? So it's just bringing your awareness to where you are, going, oh, this isn't serving me, and then knowing when to step away. So.
And not serving you means it doesn't feel good. It's not feeling right anymore. That means not serving you. Yeah. And we're all living our own realities. So why not choose something that feels amazing? Why not choose beliefs that feel expansive and fantastic, and let go of the ones that don't feel that, you know? That's what we're here for. To embrace and to love each other, because we are each other. So I heard of a concept last week about, and I sat with this for a few days and I'm still integrating it. So you know how you dream and it feels like your dream is inside of you? Well, this is inside of you. This is the dream inside of you. This is inside of you. You're inside of me. Everybody in you, everybody that you're experiencing life with is the dream inside of you.
Interesting.
And so to wake up in this dream and to wake up in the dream state. So they say to learn how to wake up in the dream state, you use that technique to wake up in this dream.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Because this is the dream as well.
Mm.
But this is like a dream that, well, it's the same. And I sit and I think about that, because when you're dreaming, you're really in the dream. You're feeling like this is it until you wake up. And then you're like, oh, that was just a dream. But that's what this is. It's just a dream. And it's inside of you. That's a concept to get your head around.
Yeah. So do you reckon our sleep state at nighttime looks at us as a dream state?
Well, all of our higher self looks at this as a dream state. Always. So they say when you go to sleep, you're actually more connected to your higher self. That's why you can't remember.
Yeah.
Most of it. And that's also why we need sleep, because we need to plug back in. We need to connect again to remind ourselves, because this is believable. This is like integrative VR shit that you really believe in.
Yeah. And
so that's why you have to sleep, is to plug back in, to remind yourself who you are. Just don't forget, this is who you are, this is who you are. And some will remember that, plugging in, and some won't. But all of it's a dream. Your real self has no physicalness at all. Your real self is consciousness, is awareness, is bodiless.
That's why I think it's so important to not take shit serious.
Yeah. Lighten up.
What we think is
this is a dream. This is a really, really persistent, believable dream that you will wake up. And that's what happens when you transition. You wake up. You're like, damn, that was a believable dream. And the value in this dream is the experience of it. It's the experiences that you have. It's the learning and the growth and the awareness. And that's why we take human forms, no matter what planet you're on or what form it is. That's why we but that's why we take the form, is for the experience of what we gain from being in the form.
It's interesting because, you know, that concept that goes around stay woke, or
yeah,
you know what?
Do they even know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But like everything, something feels right, but you don't know the ins and outs of it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
but that's your guide. If it feels right, there's truth in that for me.
Yeah.
And that's going back to the whole certificate, diploma, all of that. What you're doing when you're earning a certificate or diploma is you're agreeing with the person who made that. That is the way to whatever. So I agree, say it's let's do a life coach. I agree, whoever you get your certificate or diploma from, you agree with the system that they have set in place as to this is how you practice that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but what I'm saying is maybe there's more there. Maybe they didn't get it all. Maybe they got as much as they could. Maybe there's more for you. Maybe it doesn't look like that. And then we have this buy-in of we're going to pay for the course. And when you do that, you're more likely to follow their rules because you paid for it, right? The other side is when you say it's a life coach and you have a client. So the client is buying into the fact that you got a certificate or a diploma as a life coach, and they're expecting a certain technique. Say they've seen other life coaches, so they're expecting that technique or that way of doing. And so you're more likely to follow the rules of whoever taught you because that's what your client is expecting. But we're not here to be duplicates of each other. We're here to be our own individual. We're here to express our individualness. Oops, sorry. We're here to to express our individualness and allow others to be attracted to us if they are. Not for the money.
I don't think everything's like that though, because like you can classify yourself as a meditation teacher or whatever, qualified in meditation, but there's so much practices that you can, you know what I mean? So
well, it just depends on what it is that
Yeah.
because we had talked about this before about a certain course, and so like say shamanism, that was what we were talking about before. When a client wants to go see a shamanic person, they expect a certain way if they've been to one before. So you're more likely to follow that technique because you were taught that way and because it's what's expected. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. But is that not the client's not problem but issue or whatever, because they have their expectations of how a time could go?
It is, but it's also nobody's issue unless somebody makes it an issue.
Yeah.
Because everything is neutral. But all I'm trying to say is we're not here to be duplicates of each other. We're not here to learn from one person how to do something. We're here to learn our own individualness by following our passion, following our joy, and letting that unfold. And by following your passion, following your joy, that's your language. That's your higher self's language. That's who you really are. That's why you were put here. So that's all I'm saying is, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting a certificate or diploma or whatever. Do you? But I'm just saying, I feel and see in the future that isn't going to be needed, because we'll all be attracted, instead of by the title that we have, we'll be attracted to people based on their individualness that they've brought, not because they have a certificate or diploma.
I see that.
Yeah, because that's what feels, and that's a reality I'm moving in. And that doesn't mean that other people will be moving in that same reality, because all versions of Earth will still exist. And that includes the negative and the positive. So my reality looks like that.
Yeah. And also as well, I think it's, so yesterday was thunder and lightning here, right? But I didn't know it was like this. And it wasn't raining right now, so I was like, it's not going to rain, it's fine. But I had to go walk dogs at 1 o'clock, and of course I got caught in the thunder and lightning, right? And I love thunder and lightning, man. So tasty. Do you remember that time in America?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I do.
But anyway, so, and then somebody just said to me, how did you not see the cloud and not know it was going to rain? And I was like, so you're only saying that because of the news told you it was going to rain, your weather app on your phone told you it was going to rain, but that's not in my like vortex, like if I haven't happened, you know what I mean? And then I just got thinking like, it's actually nuts, because we're planning our day around what this app is telling us or what the news is telling us or whatever. And I was like, I think we've actually talked about this, if all of our brains are looking at this going, it's going to rain by 2 o'clock, why do you think it's raining at 2 o'clock?
Because we believed it.
Yeah. Like, how nuts is that? I figured out yesterday, and then I was literally like looking at the rain going, this is actually mad. And then I was like, who's to say that rain is bad? Like, why are we so... No, this is why we're so upset when it rains, is because we're not actually following our joy. Do you know what I mean?
See, in my reality, the rain is not bad, and it didn't even rain yesterday where I was.
Oh, interesting. Thunder and lightning I was here. But, like, I believe because I'm in a happy state within, well, I was yesterday anyway, I was fucking delighted that was thunder and lightning. You know what I mean? But, like, people who are not in a happy state are seeing it as, oh, for fuck's sake, it's raining, it's Ireland, it's blah, blah, blah.
It was warm though. Was it still warm when it rained?
Yeah. Well, even today it's hot.
Like, yeah, it's not hot, but it's not cold.
Yeah. But, yeah. So the sun was raining yesterday, Dublin?
It did not rain where I was. I could see the clouds all in the mountains, but it did not rain, no. Oh. And it was hot. It was that hot sticky. It was really nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Beautiful day yesterday. Today too. Like every day is a beautiful day. Like I just love getting another day to figure this shit out. Like, I love this. This feeds me. Feeds my soul. So I didn't tell you what I was. Okay, so I went to the crystal shop and I picked out rose quartz for Amy, and Patty had a sodalite, and so the two together are quite amazing. So while I was at the crystal shop, I was looking at the books, and I normally wouldn't buy a book I take that back. There will be a few books that I buy, but for the most part I listen to my books on like an audio book thing. But as I was looking at books yesterday in the crystal shop, I had an awareness, because I do listen to channeled stuff and find it very inspiring. Bashar, Abraham, there's some other ones out there. I'm just drawing like. Anyway, I had an idea of channeling, and I'm like, okay, like the idea why don't you channel? And I'm like, I don't want to channel for other people, because I believe we're all always channeling. And then the idea channel yourself from the future to guide you through this, because at the moment there are some things that feel like they still need to be put in place, like where we live. And so I could use some help in that area. And so I went and bought myself a journal just for that, and I started channeling myself. And it was interesting. So I channeled myself from 10 years in the future, and I'm realizing, and I sat down in a session, and then when it was done, it was done. And I realized that when I go back, I may not get that same version. I'm probably going to get a whole different version of myself, because we're flipping through billions of times per second versions of ourselves. So all of these versions of me exist. And I realized that I may not get that same version. Well, chances are I'm not, because I just thought that was interesting. I'm not going to get that same version. Like, is the next version I'm going to get living somewhere else? Because she told me where we were going to live. She told me what the house looks like. She's doing this. And the reason why I'm asking her to help me is because I want to believe. I need a permission slip to believe. And if I can fully trust her, myself, I will believe. And that's how things happen. You believe. It doesn't happen if you don't believe. And that's where I see is the shift has to happen. Like, I got the concept. I get the concept. Now I just want to believe it. I want to own the concept. I want to feel it. I want to embody it.
And do you think that there's a belief system that's holding you back? Or what do you think it is?
Well, yeah, because we're not where we want to be. And even saying that is showing that there's a belief. Saying I'm not where I want to be. I am where I want to be. But I want my own house.
Yeah.
I want to be in my own house. And I clearly need help getting there.
Yeah. Do you believe that you're worthy of getting there?
Absolutely. I am 100,000% worthy. There is, and I feel like if I can understand this little link, like it's going to help me with everything. So the belief has to be, not has to, but the belief is so, it's like if you drop something on the floor and you go to pick it up. I believed I could pick that up. So of course I didn't hesitate. I just picked it up. That's how you believe. That's where I want my belief. I believe in this so much. Of course it's going to happen.
Do you reckon because, not that you're chasing it, but because you want it so bad, it's creating a resistance?
Absolutely. I do believe that. That's why I'm trying to just let things be in my now, be in my flow, be in my joy. And if this permission slip works of connecting to myself that already is there, well then why not use it?
Yeah.
And that's what we're all time exists now. All versions of you live now. So why not connect with yourself?
Yeah, that's interesting. And do you believe, or do you see, because you know the way, and I'm going to try double twist it here, but so if I'm channeling in a version, my future self, am I seeing that future self of me always progressing and growing and evolving, blah blah blah, or do I see a future? Actually, we're not going to even finish that.
Yeah, because you exist in all possibilities.
Yeah.
It's what do you
So it's
tune
what I
into?
want. Yeah.
What do you tune into? What can you resonate with? How high can you feel when you tune in is going to be where you're vibrating. How high you are when you, that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially it doesn't matter if I tune into the same me, because chances are I'm not. But she's going to be in a high vibration. No, it was just so fun to do, actually. I loved it. So now I have a dedicated journal to me connecting with myself 10 years from now in 2034. Or 2034, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many questions.
Where?
Where you living then? Like,
Well, so that's what I was thinking too, is like she told me where we were going to live. She told me the acreage of the farm. She told me what the house looks like. I did ask about you and your mother. And when I tune in again, could I get somebody else? Could I get another version of me that maybe chose a house somewhere else? Absolutely. So it depends on where I'm vibrating. So I have to be aware of how I'm feeling when I tune in to myself. That's going to be the version of me that I'm going to pick up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which means also in 10 years' time, could I be that version? Yes, but I might not. And it doesn't matter really. It's just she's just helping me. Let me get me over this hump.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. It was interesting, the information that came through, and that's part of trusting your imagination, trusting what you're seeing and what you're getting, because all our versions, you cannot see what isn't real. If you're seeing it, it's real in some level, in some parallel reality.
Like I had this belief against Tinder that I want to meet somebody organically, all this blah blah blah, and I said I'm putting that block on myself. And it was the same. There was actually, ironically enough, there was this course that I'm intrigued in, and I was like, oh, but you don't need a course, blah blah blah. And then I was like, why am I putting that block on myself? And like when I brought that awareness to the blockage that I'm creating for myself, I was like,
well, nobody ever creates blockages except for you.
Yeah, like you can totally switch that up. Like, and just because you believe one thing today, tomorrow you can like completely switch it up. Like I said to somebody, no, I'm just letting you know now, like I changed my mind an awful lot. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, no, I might have a belief system today and a different one tomorrow. And he was like, alright, noted. And I don't know if he understood what that meant. And I was like, he'll figure it out. But you said that yesterday. Yes, I want.
Yeah, that
was
yesterday.
So yeah, that was funny.
I'm here evolving, and today is a different day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a different version of me. I no longer exist. Yesterday's version isn't even here anymore. I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
It is beautiful to get your head around that. And it's not that you're gonna, because for somebody that's in 3D reality, and I'm just gonna step into 3D for a minute, to hear somebody say, I change my mind a lot, it can sound like you're unstable, like you're not. No, but listen, that you're not sure of yourself in a sense. But actually, you're more sure of yourself, so you're able to change your mind.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because a 3D person will, if we have these beliefs, that's what we believe, and that's the way it is. And how can you live in a reality that isn't? But that's because you're afraid. You're in fear that you aren't going to make the right decisions, that you're not going to think the right way, that you're not going to, whatever your fears are. That's the only reason why this has to stay the same. When you actually embrace change and you embrace the love and you embrace the divinity and you embrace, and you don't even have to be aware that you're doing that, you just want to feel good, then your fear isn't guiding you anymore. And it looks like you're changing your mind, and it looks like you're changing directions, and it looks like, but it's not like so big that it's like disturbing. It's just little things that you decided
freedom.
It's freedom. Like it's allowing that
that shift,
free flow to keep flowing.
It also kind of feels like a death of an ego, you know, like,
oh, it 100% is. Like, for me to even get the concept that I am not a body at all, this body doesn't exist. Like, there was ego death. Like, I felt like there's been a lot of ego deaths.
I haven't got the body one yet.
Get that body one. It's like, because I remember a big shift for me was having the thought that this is going to sound really bad, and I don't know how to word it so it doesn't, but it's not as bad as it sounds once you get it. But having the thought that once I transition, I don't care about my children. You do care. You always have that connection, but it's not like it is in this body. It's different. It's a different care. It's like, I care because but I know they're taken care of. I care, but they're not needing me to look after them.
I know, like, when you get to that, that's just as a few steps before this, but like those kids are on the gaff yesterday, and I was handing them actual glass to drink out of, because I don't have kids, like, I don't have plastic Tupperware. What are you giving the kids glass for? Why are you expecting them to break it? So what if it breaks anyway? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world. But I think because my nervous system was in a calm state yesterday, that right, fresh, whatever happened, do you know what I mean? But like somebody who maybe hasn't done, I don't want to say work on their nervous system, but given it permission to calm down, they're expecting the worst things to happen all the time, you know. So when you get to that space, I suppose, of losing that sense of body, that you've calmed everything, you know, everything is back to peace, love, you know, that 5G transitional.
Because you're an interdimensional, multifaceted being. You're not just one dimension.
You know what, that makes sense, because the book that I said I was reading was saying that, like, the Druids, they'd study for like 20 years, for example, and then they would go to the point of fasting to starvation to claim enlightenment or whatever. And it makes sense, because the food is not blocking us, but it's not, our energy is going elsewhere to connect to other sources or whatever. And when you're at that space of not needing your body, you don't need to fuel your body of food.
Well, if you're in your body, you need your body. First off, enlightenment is not a destination. It's an evolving thing that will continue to evolve. It's not an end goal. That was something I had to get my head around too. It's a continuation, and your evolving is lightening you up. And as you lighten up, you will naturally let go of food. But as long as you're in the body, you still need the body, right? And the food, there's nothing wrong with food. When I lived here before, which would have been 16 years ago. Thinking about like that. Anyway,
What?
I'll let you grab it. When I lived here before, I went into the workshop with a person who was a breatharian. And he was teaching how you could be still physical and not need food, because we have this link between food and physicality. And he was a professional sports person, and he lived off of nothing. He stopped eating. I think he still drank some water every now and again, but his theory though was that everybody should come off of food. And I at that time was exploring that idea, and I tried to come off of food, but my body was not wanting me to come off of food. So I went to raw food, and still my body wasn't happy. So I went back to vegetarianism. And anyway, it's allowing the body as a unit, because this is also the divine, to guide me towards where it's ready to be, not where I think it should be because somebody else is doing it. It's where my body has decided, because if you're doing it too fast, your body will not be healthy. You will be somehow breaking your body down if you're doing it based on an idea or a belief system, because your beliefs are nothing. Beliefs come and go, but yet we mold our lives to beliefs. So allow the body as a spiritual unit to guide you, and the higher you vibrate, the less you'll need food, or the less types of food. Like, I believe it'll start showing you, like, it's springtime, naturally my body always wants fresh, raw stuff, and so that's what you feed it when it wants it. So and really, food is just a permission slip anyway. Permission slips are your reason for something. So food is a permission slip for my body to be healthy, or for my body to feel good, or because your body needs nothing. You are the divine. You're already a light being. It's just the disconnect to get there, to get yourself there.
Thank you very much for coming.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.